the girl a-running in a group. She had a high-speed motor in a 40 Ford coupe. She had a racing cam and a supercharged. Look at Buddy, hot rod at large. She's a hot rod. She's a hot rod. She's my hot rod.
What we do on the Car Guy. This is how we try to help people. We want to make sure that you understand that this is a show for you. I sit here and babble, and the only way to shut me up is call me and ask me a question, because and then I'll babble some more. But I enjoy talking about the car world and what's going on. I like you to know what if you're driving one of these cars that's being recalled, simply because you don't know until they send you a letter, and that's not fair. There are cars out there that just aren't safe anymore, and you need to know if your car's one of those. That's just ludicrous that they do that. But until they're forced by the NHTSA to send those letters out, and then Chrysler, Sergio Marchionne, that clown, he drags his feet. He don't even send them out then. So you got to watch this. You just do. And that's why we do this. We want you to have a working knowledge of the car business and what's going on. And right now, the car business is in the biggest transition it's been in ages. I mean, ages. This whole electric vehicle, autonomous driving, and yada yada. It's coming. Electric vehicles are going to be they're going to be mandatory for you know it. There's going to be some Arab sheiks over there in the Middle East that there goes the palace, because we're not buying your oil no more. We're not going to need it. That's pretty cool, actually. I like it. Don't get me wrong. I love it. But I have this problem. I have this problem with the transition. It's not a legal transition to me. It's not taking its time and evolving naturally and becoming a good thing. It's jump up, hurry up, let's see who can build the first car and get it on the street. And I'll give you an example, okay? Our next little story here that I have, 928 Car Guys, if you want to yell at me, go right ahead. I'll listen. Not long, though. Yeah, I'll listen. The National Transportation Safety Board is off to Las Vegas to investigate the Navia Arma self-driving autonomous little shuttle bus that crashed on its first day. No injuries, of course, but it crashed. It's a little shuttle bus that goes from downtown to the Strip in Vegas. It's a little bitty thing. Looks like a little Volkswagen or something, but it's called a Navia Arma. I don't know who the heck makes that. It's whatever. Doesn't matter. Its first day of going back and forth down the Strip, it crashed. Oh, the electric guys jumped up and down. The autonomous guys jumped up and down. Said, oh, it's not our fault. Not our fault. It was human error. Somebody driving another car. Well, then it is your fault. You got to understand, if that autonomous vehicle is going to drive down that strip with cars that are driven by real people, it's going to have to allow for that. Somehow you got to, unless you're going to make everything on the strip autonomous, well, then nobody's going to hit anybody. It's going to be fine. But the average driver just doesn't care. Okay? As Americans, we just drive the way we want. I've seen people on the highway, or on the streets around town, they don't drive their car, they squirt it. They just go, go, go. And they don't look, they don't even look. Don't stop for stop signs. The autonomous car crashed because it had the right of way. It was right. Of course it was right. Now, it wasn't going very fast. And all it did was superficial damage to the front of the vehicle. And nobody was hurt. But what if that was on the highway? And somebody, you could be right, and you could have the right of way, and you could be right, but you could be dead right, if you know what I'm saying. And that's what I'm talking about. We've got to find a way to blend these, because there's going to be a period where it's not going to be all electric or autonomous, and it's not going to be all drivers. It's going to be mixed. There's going to be a period, if it's going to come at all. You're not going to wake up one morning and the government's going to say, here's your new car, it's in the driveway, get in the back seat and tell it where to go. And everybody doesn't drive anymore. It's not going to happen that way. It can't. We're Americans. They can't take our rights away that way. So here's the deal. You're going to be having a mix. You're going to be driving, and the car next to you might be autonomous. Or you might be in an autonomous car, and there's a teenager next to you. He's too busy petting his girlfriend's hair, and he's just going to crash into you, and you're not going to have nothing you can say about it because you're not driving. This has got to happen. I mean, this is a transition we're going to live with. You know, this NAFTA thing. Under the current NAFTA laws, that they still haven't decided what they're going to do with it yet, but only 62% of a vehicle that comes across the border from Mexico to America, only 62% has to be American, made with American parts. So Ford can build a plant down there and ship 62% of the parts down, and the other 38% can come out of Mexico, so they get more industry. That's how that worked. And it's duty-free or tariff-free. Well, under the new policies, the new procedures, the proposal is that if you're going to keep building them in Mexico and shipping them up here, 82% have got to be made with all-American parts, parts that we sent you to put together. You want to assemble them, you go ahead. And you want to send them up here, that's fine. And plus, there's going to be a tariff on them. So guess what? Why are all these companies, they're moving to America. They're building here. Volvo, I told you, a week ago or 2 weeks ago, Volvo's going to build an $800 million plant somewhere in Tennessee or whatever. And Audi is adding to one. Mercedes is getting, they're all blowing up. They're all coming here. Building plants right here in the good old US of A and hiring good old American workers. And I got to tell you, that is my absolute favorite. I gotta tell you, She Will Be Obeyed just made us some fresh coffee, and guess what? Ooh, doggy. I'm gonna be flying around the room before this day is over. Woo, good stuff, baby. Anyway, so here's the deal. If you want to re-enter the marketplace, it's going to be 82% plus a tariff. You may as well build the car here, because if you build it in Mexico and all that tariff and all that other stuff, it's going to cost more to build it there than it does to build it here. And guess who's not happy about that? Mexico is absolutely just ready to start another war. But what are you going to do? It's our country. Our people need the jobs. It's time to take care of your own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Stay in your own backyard and play. That's how it's going to be. The Google of China. Baidu, it's B-A-I-D-U, Baidu, is racking up partners fast to make autonomous vehicles in China. They are soliciting Ford, Daimler, NVIDIA. Now, NVIDIA is the software company that makes autonomous driving all that possible. I mean, they are, and this Google of China, Baidu, they apparently don't have any of that, and they're going to get NVIDIA involved, and they're going to rock it. I'm telling you, China is the market. It's the market that we have to keep our eye on. They will lead the league in autonomous driving, and you know why? Because they don't have any rules. China doesn't have any rules. If the government says you will drive this non-driving car, you will drive it. There's no rights over there. There's no such thing. So, okay, here you are, everybody. You get this little car. You go in the back seat, and it drives you to the chop suey joint. I don't know. I'm just telling you. They can get away with it over there. They will. You could bet the Chinese government wants all this oil, because they don't have any oil. They have to buy it from the Arabs, too. They would just as soon get rid of their dependence on the Arab oil and go right to electric vehicles and use technology, which apparently they're pretty good at. And if not, they're getting partners such as Ford, Daimler. Daimler is big in autonomous driving. Ford apparently has the resources they're looking for, and the working resources. And Daimler has, of course, the technology. And NVIDIA is the brains of the outfit. They're slick. And there's some other ones that they're talking to. They're not, I'll tell you, they're not going to be behind us in self-driving car, autonomous driving. They're going to be ahead of us. I guarantee you. In Australia, this is sad. This is really sad. Ford, Toyota, and General Motors are closing plants in Australia for the past 2 years now. More recently, Chevy closed its century-old Holder, Australia plant. Well, apparently, they're not going to be building cars in Australia except for Australians. There's no reason to build them over there and put them on a ship, and with that TPP gone, they can't ship them over here for free. Honda. Honda is complaining. This Takata airbag thing. This is the story. It's the recall that just keeps on giving. Oh my God. Takata. Honda says their quarterly profits in the U.S. airbag cost after this last quarter, Honda lost 152.9 billion yen. That's about 1.3 billion dollars, greenbacks. And a lot of it is over the U.S. class action lawsuit over Takata airbags. There's a ton of them, and they're just paying off left and right. They got no choice. Takata's got no money, and when it comes right down to it, that airbag is in their car. And these lawyers are sharp. They know they can't get money out of Takata. They don't have any money. Takata's broke. They ruined the car business, and they just bellied up. Where now Honda, Toyota, a lot of companies are going to end up paying the freight over this whole. But they knew about these airbags. Everybody knew. Well, not you and I, not until it came out, that they were loaded with the ammonium nitrate, and some of them were not loaded properly. And again, those were made in Mexico, by the way, and sent up here. I'll tell you a story about that. There was a semi coming through over the Texas border on a super hot day, 105, 108 degree day, blah, blah, blah. And apparently this is what sets that ammonium nitrate off. It was a semi full of Takata airbag igniters. And coming up, it exploded in Texas, right over the border. And a lady was on the sidewalk that was walking down the street, got killed when this semi just exploded from the Takata airbags. That's how dangerous. And this is a couple years ago, they were still putting them in cars. How do they get away with that crap? I'll never know. You cannot tell me how they get away with that. I just can't do it. I can't listen to it. I get excited over those Takata airbags, and I start to ramble on and on. She'll be obeyed. Will come in here and smack me because I just get excited. People are dying, and they're getting away with murder. They're getting away with it. Now, on a nicer note, let's talk fun for a while. Do you want to know? You don't want to get in a car crash? You want to know the best states to not get a car crash? If you live in this state or you drive through this state, you're least likely to get in a car crash. Number 10 is Iowa. Number 9 is Minnesota. Number 8 is Kansas. Who would live there? Number 7 is Idaho. That's another one. Number 6, North Dakota. Oh my God. Vermont. Number 5 is Vermont. Now, there's a populous state, though. Number 4 is South Dakota. Number 3 is Alaska. They even got cars in Alaska? Yeah, they got to have cars in Alaska. I've never been there, so I don't know. Number 2 is Wyoming. And the easiest state to drive in without getting a crash, you probably won't get in a crash, number 1, Montana. Does anybody notice anything there? You're least likely to crash in the states that have the least amount of cars. Come on, half of that is all open space. That's out west, and the only one I see on there that could possibly be considered urban, an urban state, would be Vermont. Kansas is wide open, prairies, and Idaho is all wide open. It's kind of a bogus list. It really is. I don't even know who made it. I don't even want to know because I think it's bogus. I just do.